Life's like an elevator. On your way to the top, sometimes you gotta stop and let people off. Hey there, how's it going? Thanks for joining me for Bitcoin and Coffee too. Thanks for joining me over here on DTube and Steam It to check out my video. As always, I'm going to be providing you these videos Monday through Friday, probably about 3 hours after the YouTube upload. And they're going to be consisting more of my personal thoughts on the cryptocurrency space and market, and just the average Joe trying to see if I can help teach some tricks and avoid scams that I got going on and what I've been doing personally. As always, none of this is any financial advice for anybody. I just want to help make cryptocurrency better by getting out here and doing what I can do. All right, you guys. So what do we got going on here on Bitcoin and Coffee 2? Well, today I wanted to get out here and I wanted to talk a little bit about, some of the things I do with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to help myself out, considering that I'm just an average guy out here living, paycheck to paycheck, pretty much like a lot of people, and how I help get myself away from that paycheck to paycheck, and how getting into the cryptocurrency has helped change, my ideals and money and finances and savings and all of that kind of stuff in comparison to how it was before when I operated solely in the US dollar like I had been taught and trained in my entire life. A lot of people, they have this misconception about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and the way they talk about it, or the ideal of how they have it in their head, is a lot more that it's like some sort of like scratch off, and that that it's a win or lose situation, and that it's not exactly what it is, and that it's an asset. I've had people ask me all kinds of questions like, could I sell my house for a Bitcoin, and what would I do and how would I do it, and then how would I make profit off of the Bitcoin, but I'd have to get another house within 30 days. Well, that's not really how Bitcoin works. Therefore, you have a misconception of how Bitcoin is. Unless for some reason you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, dramatically in the next 30 days, why would you go sell your house that you live in for Bitcoin to then have to sell your Bitcoin to buy another house, right? Bitcoin is a tool that is to be used to help you achieve, financial independence, monetary sovereignty, all of these wonderful buzzwords that you keep hearing. But what does it mean, right? What does it mean, and how do you get there? All right. If you go about saving some money, right, and it's hard, you live in paycheck to paycheck. If there's any extra, you usually go ahead and think that you deserve it personally for yourself, and you spend it on, whatever hobby you have, motorcycle, four-wheeler, jet ski, having a drink, going out to your friends, going out to eat, all that stuff, right? If you take that extra money and you put it in the bank account in dollars, well, I mean, you're trying to think, 10, 15 years down the road, and that's what they mean by long-term thinking and all of that. What's happening? Well, I mean, you lose 2% due to inflation every single year, so here you are looking at 10 years, that's 20%, 15 years, that's 30%, that's a loss. And I mean, why would you want to take away, $20, $30 a week, which really doesn't seem like a lot, and put it away to then lose, some of it? It's not going to get you nowhere, right? You're struggling enough as is to put it away and to earn it right now today, and you can use it a lot more. It definitely feels that way, I'm sure. Feels that way for me. Well, with Bitcoin, it's deflationary, and that means it works to your benefit. So, cryptocurrency is volatile. Yes. There's downsides to everything. Yes. No one is here trying to candy coat that on Bitcoin and Coffee at all. It's that if you buy Bitcoin today, guaranteed, pretty much. I mean, there's no reason for it not to. I mean, we're talking catastrophic event would cause Bitcoin to fail in the next 5 years. Your Bitcoin's going to be worth a lot more. It's just that how do you get there? How do you start getting this Bitcoin? How do you start collecting it? What do you do? What is your game plan jumping into this? Because, yeah, I mean, you get a third of a Bitcoin right now. The price shoots up a little bit. You're like, yes, I'm up. I've made like $500, $600, $700 profit. And then you go sell it to take the money, and then you go spend it. Well, now you're back at square one, right? You've gotten in the market, you made a little money, and now you're out. And I mean, that's great. I mean, people do that. That's wonderful. If you can make money doing that, and you can somehow predict the market, and you're on top of it enough to, and you have enough to invest where the swings, the volatile swings make you enough to live. But most of us that are out here living paycheck to paycheck and week to week, I mean, some weeks I have trouble putting $20 into Bitcoin. Some weeks I got more, you know, but it's that cumulative effect of slowly over time accumulating it, putting it away little by little by little by little. You know, just like the squirrels with the nuts for winter, or the massive amounts of ants, like that concept. You know, the water eroding the rock. Well, I mean, it works with finances too, and cryptocurrencies help show that to me. So, you know, it's that you set up that weekly reoccur buy on Coinbase. You know, you start collecting a little bit of extra money by cutting costs where you can and making sacrifices, you know, to know that it will pay off in the future. And that's hard. It's hard to think, okay, well, we all don't need to go out to eat. I don't need to do this. I don't need that. You know, it's just feelings and luxury and personal thought that you will survive without, right? So you suffer a little bit now, but you'll feel a lot better later on, right? Because, I mean, if you keep doing the same old thing, you're going to get the same old result. So if you're working week to week and, you know, maybe you got an extra $1,000 saved, well, you're doing better than most of America, because according to statistics, most people have absolutely no savings whatsoever. So what happens to the average person that keeps going out there and doing this, living week to week to week? Well, eventually you get old. Eventually something happens. Eventually your car breaks. Eventually there's, you know, your hot water tank goes. Something happens and there's a disaster, and then it starts financially setting you behind, and you start on this downhill trend to financial ruins. Well, that doesn't happen if you start saving Bitcoin. Every little bit that you save equals more. And I mean, yes, I've been in the situation where I bought Bitcoin and then had to cash it out a couple months later because, you know, I had things that I had to pay and they weren't thought of. But, you know, sometimes I'll be up. Sometimes it'll be worth it. It's like, okay, well, the $100 that I put away that I have to take out now, again, you know, 30 days later, it's up a little bit, 20 bucks. Yes, it's awesome. Sometimes it's down. You know, you can't win them all. So that's why they say never invest more than what you're willing to lose. That's because any money you put in, you have to be prepared to, you know, put it away for a long time. You have to be prepared for that value to drop dramatically between now and the time that you need to be taking it out. So that's why I find myself in a situation where I cut back on expenses and physically take that money and put it away into cryptocurrency. And then I take my cryptocurrency and I split it into several different groupings. You know, some that I don't touch at all, some that's cold storage, some that I use to try to trade. You know, everybody wants to get out there and, you know, double their money and get invested in the next, you know, cryptocurrency that's going to move. But I don't go putting a lot into it. You know, I know that that's probably unrealistic, that I'm just going to be able, because it's like throwing a dart at a dartboard. Sometimes you don't know where it lands. I mean, yes, there's some people that get real good at throwing those darts and can make the bullseye. But most of us, we only play when we stop by the bar and we're not doing that great at it, right? So what does all of this mean? What does it all wrap up to? What does it all boil down to? It boils down to, you know, teaching yourself that going without, you know, some of the luxuries now and taking that fiat cash that you've, you know, saved and putting it into Bitcoin and not jumping at the drop of a hat because the price shot up, and keeping yourself cool and calm and collective and thinking further down the road, you will do yourself the biggest favor ever, because Bitcoin's going to be worth so much that you're not going to be having, you know, that oppressive way of trying to figure out how to pay the bills and, you know, achieve what the Joneses next door are achieving and all of that stuff. Because you'll have some Bitcoin and you will have, you know, gotten smart about what money is. It will have taught you life lessons, because it's done that for me. And everyone's different, and the way it happens for everyone's different. You have to get in there, you have to understand the market, and it's a big market, so there's a lot of place for everybody to get out there and operate. It's the fact that this is a deflationary currency that the world is slowly adopting, and we are so early into it that if we position ourselves in it properly through intelligent thinking, we're going to find ourselves well off in the future. So if you guys like everything that's going on here on Bitcoin and Coffee, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. All right, please follow me. I mean, we're coming real close to 5,200 followers on Steam. I've been uploading these videos to DTube for a little over a week now. I'm going to be continuing to do it, like I said, Monday through Friday. Comment down below, and I'll be giving you a full upvote with my power. You know, thanks for stopping by, and remember, keep your Bitcoin safe.